Please welcome Evan Spiegel.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much, New York Women in Communications. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here today in honor of Betsy Kenny Lack. It is so incredibly rare to know someone who is a broadly imaginative visionary, but who is also passionate about getting every little detail just right. Betsy is one of those incredibly unique individuals. Having the opportunity to work with Betsy is one of the reasons why I love my job. And one of the best parties I've ever been to is the one where I saw Betsy and she told me that she was leaving Vanity Fair. And I couldn't believe my luck at hearing such great news, so I immediately set out to beg her to join our team. And our pursuit of Betsy has paid tremendous dividends for our business, but also for me and our team personally, because Betsy is such an absolute joy to know. My favorite conversations with Betsy always start with something like, "You might totally hate this," or "This might sound crazy, but..." And that's what happened when Betsy wanted to install a giant Ferris wheel at Cannes. And it happened when Betsy reimagined the Blue House, which was our very first office on the beach in Venice. It happened when Betsy brought Bitmoji to life, when she built a museum for augmented reality, and when she transformed our office in New York into a destination for brilliant artists, creators, and entrepreneurs. Betsy is fearless, and she is bold, and she uses her tremendous talents to bring people together and to make them feel good about themselves. Betsy makes people feel comfortable and understood. Betsy is trustworthy, and she is kind. The world is a better place because of Betsy. Congratulations, Betsy, on this tremendous award.
Me down and build me up, whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chain. Whatever it takes. Yeah, take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes.
Thank you so much, Evan. I think back when you asked me to come work at Snap. We hardly knew each other, and I remember sitting in your office. You had invited me to fly out to meet your team, and you asked me again if I would come to Snap. And I finally blurted out what I was really thinking. Why? You don't even know me. And I remember exactly what you said. You told me I wrote really good emails. I didn't know what to say. And almost 2 years later, you have given me the opportunity of a lifetime. You have taught me how to think big, take risks, and always ask, why not? Why can't we do that? Like the yellow Ferris wheel that we put on the red carpet in Cannes that I found in the middle of nowhere in the Czech Republic, painted yellow, put a ghost on, and created a bit of a stir. So I'm very grateful to you, Evan. I also want to thank my boys, all three of them. My husband, Andy, who is my biggest fan, and whose only flaw is that he exaggerates my accomplishments to an embarrassing degree. And my son, Andy, who is my firstborn and has taught me so much about what is truly important in life. And Sam, my youngest, who has the biggest heart and the biggest brain that neither my husband nor I are quite sure where he came from. You guys are my life. As you can probably guess, I work with young people, very young people. At first, it was a little jarring to go from a magazine that was over 100 years old to a company that had barely cracked 4 years, and from a boss who had celebrated his 25-year anniversary in his job to one who had just turned 25. But I got used to it, and I have learned an awful lot about this next generation. While in some ways we could characterize these times as rather dark, the tribalism in our politics, the coarseness of the national discourse, and the way it feels like we're having the same conversation about women in the workplace and sexual harassment that we had 30 years ago. But I am so optimistic about the future with what I see with these young people. They are different for sure, open-minded, curious, self-expressive, perhaps to a fault. They care a lot about transparency and civic duty, and they're also pretty impatient. And the young women I work with, both at SNAP and outside, are so impressive. They are whip smart and astonish me with their effortless confidence and poise, traits that took me years to develop and I'm actually still working on. But most have yet to hit their speed bumps, and they will. And that is where we come in, to help them through those times when things are murky and life is unfair and choices are really, really hard. Because in working so closely with these young women, I have also learned that experience really matters, and longevity matters, just lasting, and perspective and wisdom, which just takes time and cannot be rushed. And so it all comes back to this wonderful organization and why I'm so honored to be on this stage with all these extraordinary women. New York Women in Communications offers a meaningful way for us to reach out a hand to those who are coming up in this business and share our hard-won experience while also learning from them. So congratulations to the scholarship winners. You guys are the future. Thank you.